So I was looking through some old photos of our trip to Kotor in Montenegro, and look who features in so many of them. Every picture I take, I seem to frame it with the beautiful ship in the background, and it's Fred Olsen's Bolette. On this one here, I cut my head out. I'd rather focus on the ship. Let's face it, she's pretty beautiful. But as we're walking round, I just couldn't resist taking pictures of her, and we wasn't as obsessed with cruising as we are now, but still, I recognised her beauty. Little did I know that just a few months later, me and David would be stepping on board Bolette. So this is us getting ready to board in Liverpool. And I think this is when it actually clicked that it was the same ship that I'd captured so many times in Kotor. I must have filmed it from so many different angles. Yeah, she really is beautiful. Once we were on board, she certainly didn't disappoint.
It's so warm here in Liverpool, they got the roof open today.
I love a prom deck on a cruise ship. And I think that Bolette's prom deck is up there with one of the best. It's like a proper traditional prom deck. And it's a wraparound. I love this shot here because you can see the Liver building in Liverpool. We're just on our way to do the muster. But again, look at this area of the ship as well. You can actually go to the forecastle on Bolette. I've never done that on any other ship. And this little viewing platform was brilliant. Right underneath the bridge. You could wave to the captain.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure about these cabins at first.
Again, I'm filming this prom deck. I was obsessed with it. These chairs here, though, belong to the people that had those balconies. They came right out onto the prom deck. And here's the inside. Oh my goodness. This area, this clock, it was stunning.
Before I came on the ship, David's so impressed with this.
I always say this, but the photos just don't do it justice. The videos don't. You can see there, because of the light from the windows, it's a little bit dark, but this room was beautiful, as was this room. We spent a lot of time in this room. And on this day, we went up to the observatory. Look at those gorgeous sweeping windows. We were on our way, I think, to have afternoon tea, which was held up there. Absolutely stunning. And this shot is of the main dining room. It is really, really beautiful. I think that's one thing you can say about Bolette. She is a beautiful ship. She's a bit quirky in parts, but beautiful. And this is the thermal suite. Look at those tiles. It just doesn't feel like the modern ships. She just feels so unique. The last time that I'd captured Bolette from a distance was when we were in Kotor, but today we were in Portree in the Scottish Highlands. I love this part when you've been on shore, when you're catching the tender and you're on your way back to your cruise ship. I thought I'd also capture this part here because if anybody's got any walking difficulties, it's good to be aware that there are steps down when you're catching your tender. And they really made an effort with the ship at night time. They always had lights and things to make things look different and give it a nice atmosphere and a bit of ambience. They were setting up for some jazz night or something here. Now here's me with a porn star martini, and I have got my Prosecco. And I never know, are you supposed to pour the Prosecco in or not, or drink it as a shot? Comment below, I'm really not sure what you're supposed to do. I poured it in. So we're back to the outside decks. It always looks different in the sun, doesn't it? So I imagine this is what it must have looked like when it was in Kotor and there was glorious sunshine. I would imagine that every single sunbed would have been taken though. This was a sea day and she never felt crowded. You could always find somewhere nice and quiet, even on a sea day. Just watch this little stroll that we do here. I think we come across just a handful of people. So on this day, we just thought we'd have a little bit of a stroll to see whether they had opened the retractable roof. That's another great feature about Bolette, that it has a roof that in cold climates they can keep the roof closed. So when we set off from Liverpool, we were fortunate the weather were nice and they had opened it a little bit. But then as we was going up the Irish Sea to Scotland, yeah, it was closed all the time. So I was interested to see whether they'd had it open. And as we approached here, we could see they had it open, a very small amount, probably just to let a little bit of fresh air in. I suppose it could still have been chilly if you'd been swimming and you were out on deck, so it was probably the best idea just to keep it open a little bit. But like I was saying before, you really could find areas of the ship that was so quiet. And this is a sea day, and there were hardly anybody about.
Look at this. Oh, love it. Just love it. Look, you feel like you're the only person on the ship. That's the beauty of a smaller ship. You can honestly find little areas where there is no other person. There's just literally me and David. It's clear blue sky. We're walking around the top of the ship. Absolutely amazing. So I didn't even know there was another section up here. But it looks like there's just more a sunbathing area up here. I assume that's all that's up here, sunbeds. Let's have a look around the corner, but look how quiet it is. Just look at this.
And that's the story of how we fell in love with Fred Olsen's Bolette. From the moment that we first saw her when we were in Kotor, Montenegro, to boarding her in Liverpool. If you haven't done so already, I do have a full playlist of our Scottish Islands tour, so go check that out. I'll link it in the description below. In those videos, you'll learn a little bit more about the cruise itself, the entertainment, the food, especially the food, but also a lot of the facilities that they have on board. So yeah, make sure you go check that out. And if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe because it really helps the channel. Hope to see you on some future vlogs.